Market Monday here from MMAfighting.com and American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose with Javier Mendez, who coaches Khabib Nurmagomedov, who obviously has a big fight coming up at UFC 229 against Conor McGregor for the UFC lightweight title. Javier, I imagine that we're a little bit more than a week out now. Things are kind of winding down in Khabib's training camp.
Yeah, today was our last sparring day. It was the greatest day he's had in sparring. Everything went perfect. Perfect day.
What changes toward the end of camp? I guess do things kind of taper off as far as how hard you guys go?
Yeah, we taper off according to how I feel where he's at. And, in this case, he's so well ahead that we stop in one day. Normally Fridays is our last sparring day, but it was today.
So well ahead, so it's been a pretty good camp, I imagine.
And this camp's been great. Everything's been going perfect. All the great sparring partners, everybody's healthy. Khabib's healthy. Weight's on point. Man, couldn't ask for anything better.
Any without giving too much away, any new wrinkles in this camp that maybe people haven't seen from Khabib yet?
Well, the thing about Khabib is like I always say, he's still evolving. So every time you see him, it's going to be a new Khabib. So don't expect the same Khabib as the last time. Expect new techniques, new things, because that's what he's doing. He's always evolving.
The conventional wisdom, I guess, has been for this fight is that Khabib's strength is wrestling, is grappling, and McGregor's strength is striking. But people have told me that Khabib's striking has also come along quite a bit over the last few years, in this camp in particular. Is that true?
Yeah, Khabib's striking has come along really well. I mean, I put him in with pro boxers, pro everybody, and he handles it really easy, no problem. A lot of people underestimate his stand-up, and they will see that he's got really good stand-up. But that doesn't mean that we're going to go in there with that attitude, not with a great striker like Conor, but that doesn't mean that Conor should go in there thinking that he's just going to come wrestle. No. You better watch out.
So he'll stand up a little bit with
He has to. He has to stand up with him. You can't just go out and take Conor down. Conor's a master too, and he's a great fighter for a reason. So we know it's going to be some stand-up. It has to be. There's no way around it.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you. What problems does someone like McGregor present, do you think?
McGregor poses a lot of problems if we fall into his game. He's a master of setting the traps up. He's a master of feinting. He's a master of relaxation. To me, he's a master. And you know what? He's also fantastic on the ground that people don't give him enough credit, but I'm not underestimating his ground. If it goes to the ground, which is going to go to the ground, and he gets back up, I'm expecting that. We'll go back down to the ground. He gets back up, no problem. We'll go back down. So I'm expecting it to go back and forth. I'm not one of these guys that's thinking short-sighted. Once he hits the ground, it's over. Bullshit. McGregor has a lot more in the tank than that. And he's a fighter, and there's a reason why he's one of the greats.
You've coached some of the best fighters of all time in this gym, and obviously you're coaching Khabib now, and he's probably up there. Where would you say he ranks among the better fighters that you've coached, and what separates him, do you think? A lot of people say, people have told stories about his training, about how tough he is. What separates him, do you think?
What separates him is belief. His belief in his religion, his belief in himself, and what he's gotten from his father, and of course the enormous talent that he has. And no one understands what it's like to grapple with him until you're in there with him. Everybody that's never grappled with him, when they get in there, they go, "Oh my God, now I know what they're talking about." It's like they go, "It's another world."
Last week, the first press conference was in New York with Khabib and Conor, and Conor had said some personal things, some possibly insensitive things about Khabib, about his manager. Is that anything that Khabib has taken back with him? Has that affected him at all that you've noticed?
Well, we talked to Khabib right before the fight was made. I said, look, he's going to play with you. He's going to hit every button. He's going to hit religion. He's going to hit politics. He's going to hit, family. You can't let it affect you, because that's his game. That's what he does, and he's a master at that. I wish he wouldn't do it, but that's who he is, So we've talked about it for months out now that this is what's going to happen. So when it did happen, it was kind of like he was prepared for that. And I said, if you're not going to fight back with him, then stay relaxed, stay calm, and just smile at him. If you're gonna do anything, do that. Don't fight with him. That's not Khabib's style. So let's not go there. So that's why there was no confrontational like people might have expected Khabib to come back at him. No, he was just like, hey, okay, he's gonna not let me talk. I'll just be quiet.
Past McGregor opponents have gotten emotional at press conferences and maybe even in the cage, and you're saying that Khabib is not going to be that guy.
No, Khabib wasn't rattled at all. Slightly agitated, yes, because how anybody in their right mind cannot be agitated by a master craftsman like that guy. He comes at you with everything, and he hits you with everything. So if you're not slightly agitated by that, then you know what, you're not human. So yeah, he had to be slightly agitated, but it didn't work. It did not work. You know, who won the stare down? Who won the talk game? Conor did the talking, so he won that. But the overall everything, Khabib won.
And it probably won't manifest itself in the fight, right? You can't really read much into a press conference toward what the actual fight is going to be.
For me, you can.
Okay.
If you win the outside war, you're going in with the right frame of mind in the inside war. So that's why Conor plays that game, you know, and that's why he does so well at it, because Conor's a master at that. He knows you win the outside war, you got the advantage going inside that cage. He doesn't have the advantage going into this cage. He does not, because he didn't win it yet. He's losing the outside game.
And how do you see the fight playing out when it actually does get to the cage?
For me, I always pick 5-round war. I don't like picking a knockout. I don't like this. I always pick my guys 5-round war, and we're winning at the end. And that's what I'm picking. We're winning at the end.
So you guys have a new jiu-jitsu coach here at AKA.
Yeah, we have a new jiu-jitsu coach taking over. It's Ron Kessler. He's the head AKA jiu-jitsu coach for the fight team now, and I'm proud to have him on board. He's been with us from the very beginning. Leandro Vieira is still here, but his time and commitment to be here, he just couldn't be here all the time. So Leandro Vieira is still with us, but the head jiu-jitsu coach for us now is Ron Kessler, who was a former fighter for us.
Quick things right now about a non-Khabib topic. Cain Velasquez, what is his status right now? We haven't heard much from him lately.
He's been in the gym. He's been coming in and out. So it's just a matter of his manager working out whatever deal's got to be worked out, you know. And but he's been here.
See him posting photos with WWE training camps.
He just likes WWE, so he just went in there. He just got invited. He just likes it, you know. He's always like that.
People made a little bit too much out of that. When he posted it.
I would think so. They're making a little much out of it, unless the UFC wants him to do it. I would imagine you have a contract with the UFC. You can't go WWE unless UFC gives you permission.
And Daniel Cormier, of course, heavyweight champion, light heavyweight champion. Will he go to 205 and defend that belt, or is he focusing on the heavyweight title right now?
As of 3 weeks ago, when last I spoke to Daniel, the plan was to fight at light heavyweight, you know, and then fight Brock in the new year. I don't know what's happened since then. I know things a lot have been shaken up since then, and Daniel's hand hasn't quite healed like it needs to. So I haven't talked to Daniel in 3 weeks regarding what's going on. So right now, I'm at I don't know.
Were you guys surprised about the Jon Jones news last week about the 15-month suspension? I know some people thought it would be a higher suspension.
You know, I'm not surprised with anything now these days of what goes on. You know, there's no set pattern for anything. You know, why is Daniel Cormier being tested as much as he is? Why? Why other people aren't? Why? I don't know. I don't know why it is what it is. You know, I don't have anything to say about it. Am I happy with it? No, absolutely not. You know, a lot of fans have been cost a lot of good fights as a result of the ruling that they come up with. And I mean, there's no set standard. You know, there's no set standard. For me, get rid of them.
USADA. Good.
Yes, for me. Who needs them? You know, they created more problems than not. Everybody cheats anyways. The ones that know how to cheat. The ones that are cheaters, they know how to do it so well that you can't catch them. It's by fluke you catch some of these guys. I mean, these guys that learn how to cheat, they know how to cheat the system really well from what I told. I don't have first-hand knowledge, second-hand knowledge, what I hear, but I hear that these guys are out there doing this thing. They do it like an 8-hour thing where it saves in their system and it lasts up to a month. Well, if you go to sleep, you do it, guess what? You wake up and you're clean. How are you going to catch that? You know, so that's what I've been told. If it's true, I'm thinking it is. I heard it enough, you know, that I think it's true. But who's doing it? I don't know. That I don't know.